I guess I really do like my job there at the village. I guess the only reason for me wanting to do something at the township was there's more money there, which would be $4,000 a year, and then I get my hours would be at 4 instead of 5. So, and if I do stay at the village, I would like to have some time there during the day or sometime when I'm there by myself so that I'm not interrupted a lot because I get too busy. Wednesday I turned in, I think, like 31 burn permits, so in 4 hours. So we can talk about that more later. I just didn't want anybody to think that I was not talking about it or going to do something behind their backs, because that's not what I'm trying to do. And if I do get that job, or if possible, a raise at the village there and staying, I will be resigning from the church. I will be only doing the one job. So that would give me more time to do things as well.
Well, myself, I would hate to see you leave after all the learning and everything you have done so far. So that's my opinion.
I agree. She's put a lot of work into it. So we'll have to discuss, what options we want to go. If we want to look at renegotiating some of that position, or go from there. But we can talk about that.
Okay, fair enough.
Maybe at the next in-person meeting.
Yeah.
And it's easier to have a conversation. So.
Okay. Like I said, I just wanted to put it out there.
Okay.
That's all I have then, except for when we get to the audit stuff.
Okay. So we'll go to old business, the driveway ordinance, like John was saying, we need to do some updating, but until the zoning all is completed, that's still on hold. The village website, we are moving along on that nicely, actually, at this point. Julie has done a tremendous job of getting all of for the last 2 years, she's provided them with the meeting minutes, the ordinances. She sent the resolution. She submitted the planning commission information. So that's all been provided to the company. Now I think, Julie, are they a 2 to 4 week out?
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
The only thing I have the only thing I have left information to give to them basically is our elected officials for under our governmental our line item there. And then they want me to go through and, put a sentence or so under each kind of category as to what Perrington is doing for each of those categories. I have not done that yet. So there's those 2 things. And then there is a logo that they can make for us, which I know Kendra and myself have seen it. That would be an extra $150 for them to leave that on our page. I don't know that it matters, but I can definitely, if that's something everybody wants to look at, I definitely can take a snapshot of it and send it to everyone to decide if that's something that they would like to do or not. It would only be a one-time fee of $150, and then that's it.
Can we use that logo for our letterhead also after they make it?
Oh, I don't know.
That'd be something. I mean, I think our letterhead before with the gazebo looked kind of dumb, and now with the water thing on it is more modern, but it's still, I think if we had our own unique logo that we could use on letterhead and on our website, it would be beneficial in lots of areas.
Okay, I definitely can ask them. I'll send them an email tomorrow, or actually tonight when we're done here, I'll send them an email and ask him. He'll get back with me probably tomorrow.
Okay. Let us know what they say, Julie. And why don't you just the same email that you sent out the information for the call-in number, and then add Brad to that. Go ahead and send like a snapshot of that so everyone can see the current
Okay.
language they're proposing.
Okay,
Okay.
all right, we'll do. Yep.
Okay. So that's all I have on the website. M57 Motorsports. We received the addendum back from Benny. So we have that and we've had it on file. He will come up again as we get down to the new business. So that's all I had on that portion of it. For D, the Parrington Community Library that Trina Blair was putting together, she has it completed. She is going to be taking it up to the village office tonight. She actually just texted me before the meeting. So she's going to be putting that up there. I met up there with her the other night. We had talked about putting it to the right of the bushes. Do you guys remember that conversation?
Uh-huh.
And I think I don't think that's a good spot. I don't think it's going to fit with what she has. So the thought is now to the left of the door, there's where that pot is. If we move the pot to the right, like towards the bushes more or somewhere, it will fit in that open area there. And I think there's enough room that we opened the door to make sure the door wasn't going to hit it. What are your guys' thoughts on putting it there?
Sounds good.
I'm good with it there. That seems like the best spot, as far as anything outside goes.
Yeah, we met up there and just kind of looked at it, and I just don't think it'll fit to the right past those bushes. I think you're in the grass that's all yucked up. It's going to get hit by the bushes. It's by the lines there. So I think the left is the best spot for it right now. So we'll try it there. If it doesn't work, we can move it.
Right.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. On to new business. COVID-19 update. I just want to give you guys all, there's so much information out there right now and it's changing every day. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick overall update on some of the things that it's currently affecting for us. Everybody knows that obviously the office is closed to incoming traffic at this time. I'm anticipating that will remain closed to the end of the month at this point, with the latest direction we've received. With that being said, I have named Julie and John both as essential employees, so they are the ones that are continuing to work. Gary is a backup, and so is Cherry if need be. I'm hoping after the 15th we can bring Gary back to work. I'm anticipating not until the end of the month for Cherry, so maybe June 1st for her to return. Again, fingers crossed that nothing changes, it gets extended. These are all just temporary dates that we're just kind of running with at this time. So that's kind of the plan for office coverage. The park is still closed off through the 15th this point in time, unless we hear anything more from Dan from the Gratiot Emergency Management. He's been keeping us updated, emailing Julie quite a bit. So trying to stay consistent with what other villages and towns are doing to stay in accordance with the governor's wishes. That's kind of a damper on Blight right now. We can't do anything about cars because people can't get to Secretary of State. So same thing with boats, that type of thing. Everything's kind of status quo, unfortunately, because we can't really enforce anything. There is some direction out there from the governor in reference to water bills. We cannot, and I think it's 2020-42 is her executive order that allows or means we have to keep the water turned on for residents. We cannot do shut-offs. As you know, a lot of our people use that shut-off notice as a reminder that they haven't paid their bill. So since we can't shut them off, Julie and I came up with just a little reminder letter that basically said, hey, you know, we're not shutting off water due to the COVID-19 pandemic. However, we're just letting you know this is your current bill. Once everything resumes to normal, bills will be still due upon, you know, in full upon this ending. So please try to keep up on your payments. Just a little reminder, she sent 12 out because when we looked at the bills before May, there was several that had a bill of $200. So they would have been shut off, but then we just added another $80 some dollars to theirs. So we have a few that are getting up there quite high. We may have to work with them once this ends on a type of repayment plan, so we'll have to be thinking about that. I know people are still struggling to get unemployment. So it's kind of a lot to take in, but that's the update we have now. Julie, I'm going to email you tonight yet an updated questionnaire for you and John. Part of the essential workers, they have to complete a questionnaire every day on whether or not they have a sore throat, a temperature, and all of that. So I have an updated one that has some new symptoms.
I was just getting the hang of that one.
I know, sorry. It just adds some more symptoms. I think neck stiffness is one, headache is one. So there are 6 different symptoms that have been added. So I'll send that out to you guys. And those guys are doing those every single day. They're keeping them on file at their office. So if we need to send them in, we do have that information available to send in. So any questions regarding COVID-19 updates?
No.
I don't,
I correct one of you, does that? Oh, go ahead.
go ahead, who wants first? Go ahead first, go ahead, Jerry Lou.
I was just gonna say, does that, take in the trash receptacles that are still left out at the road?
No. They can still remove the trash. Who's not?
Well, the house beside me leaves hers out week to week to week.
Okay. Do you know what house that she's talking about, John?
I do.
It used to be Ruth
No,
Taylor.
I have no idea which house it is.
The white one on the corner, just right beside me on the south.
Oh, yeah. Vaughn, isn't the last name Vaughn?
Oh,
Yeah.
yep, I think it is.
Okay. Julie, can you send them the same letter that we sent to, what's the name down here? Who left it out every day?
I can. Yeah,
Thank you.
yep.
Anyone else?
Thank you.
All right, while we're on the trash, while we're on the trash subject, I mean, if anybody
Yeah.
can pass the word, spread the word along to their neighbors. I see there's a few big items sat out to the road, and they've been out there for weeks. The trash company is not picking up those big items, and they are not going to until this is kind of over or at least calmed down some more. So hopefully, maybe people can pull those items back in, or at least not put out any more. Just
Right.
pass that on to your neighbors.
I spoke with Rangers today, and that if you want to take your stuff up to the disposal up by St. Louis, you can.
That's good to know.
If you got any of the big ticket items like a mattress or huge boxes or anything else, you can take it up and drop it off up there yourself.
Okay. Let's, Julie, you wanna put something on the office door that says that too? I don't know if yours notice says that. So let's do
No,
that.
it doesn't.
Let's try, okay, let's add that to that. Let's try to figure out those big ticket people and maybe send them just a letter that says, hey, we noticed you had this out. Just an FYI, Granger will not be picking up. So I'll do a drive around town.
Okay, or that, or John, just email me who it is, and then I will take care of that, yeah.
Okay.
I can handle that if you want in the morning. I'll
Okay.
kind of put a list together of people that have items out like that, and we can just send them a letter, letting them know.
Yeah,
And if you're gonna,
We
I
have
don't know what
problems
kind of
with these.
information. Yeah, I don't know if you were talking about like just adding that information that they're not gonna be taking them, or if you were talking that you were gonna add the information about being able to drop them off yourself. If that's the case, I would call up, our representative there from Granger and see if that's a confirmed deal, or if that was just the driver today, maybe talking.
Well, Julie, why don't you send them an email and confirm that? And then update that notice to add both of that information, that they're not picking up. I know it already said that on there, but just reiterate that, maybe bold it, and then add in the next line states that if they confirm that, they can drop off at the St. Louis disposal place.
Sounds like a good plan.
I think it said on there you could drop it off at any of their, I think there's one in Lansing as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, let's confirm that, and then we'll just reiterate that and maybe make it a little bolder. Put it on the office door. Let's also make sure we get one hung at the post office and the party store.
Okay.
You've always been able to drop off to their places, but I'm thinking they're gonna charge you if you do it,
Well, I guess that's what we need to confirm. If they drop it off, are they gonna get charged? Because obviously they're not gonna want to pay for it. It's free if they pick it up here. They may be waiving that fee due to the COVID-19 though.
They could be. That's what we gotta figure out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So that's that. That's that.
Well, I had something about the COVID-19, Kendra.
Okay.
Last Thursday, I was in a conference call with Dan Morton, and I think there was 6 other presidents, mayors from the Gratiot County municipalities, all talking about their plan of opening up. And of course, Dan has been to our office before, and he suggests that we have a shield put up in front of the desk there, and masks and gloves for me to be opening mail and things like that. So I don't know if that's something they want to think about, or.
I can bring you gloves and a mask. And
I have
at
a
this
mask.
point,
But I don't think I need it right now, do I?
I was gonna say, at this point, we don't, until the office reopens, we have some time to.
Right.
But I think that may be something we need to add, in the future.
Okay. I'm all set now.
Okay, any other COVID questions? All right, so moving on to B, we need to submit bids for the audit. This is Loveland's last year of their contract. So, is that correct, Julie?
Yes.
So we'll be putting that out again for bid. Sorry, I'm trying to write at the same time. And then C, Julie, I believe, is looking for someone to come in again to do the audit prep like we've had in the past. Is that correct, Julie?
Yes. But it would just be for the one day.
Who are you thinking of trying to get the same people, same as last year?
If I do the same people, I am requesting that man not come.
I would agree
I
with
know,
you.
Roseland Prestige will not, come and do the audit prep with me
Correct.
and do our audit. So, it either has to be Manor Casterian, or I need to find someone else, call and make some, you know.
Can we request Jim come back?
That's what I'm saying, Jim is with Manor Casterian now, so I've got I talked to him, he directed me to Steve for the K and the S, K and T one. And I talked to him a little bit, but I told him that of course I had to get permission from the council before I can do anything, and I was hoping it was in April, which we didn't have a council meeting, so I told him hopefully by May, by this one I could, but now I don't know if they can even come in the office, or if they're just gonna come in remotely, or, you know what.
Right.
But no, I do not want the man that came last year.
Yeah.
And if that's the only one, I gotta call somebody else.
Right. I would agree with you there. I'm okay with using the same company. I just think we need to either get Jim back, who knew what he was doing, because this last guy made a mess.
Yes.
What are your thoughts? Are you guys okay with somebody coming in for a 1-day audit prep?
Yeah, sure.
I am. I'm fine with that.
What was that?
Dave's fine with it.
Okay.
Jim's fine
All
with
right,
it.
so, okay, Bob, are you
I
okay with that?
Yep, I'm okay with it.
I know last
What
year
did
the
you do?
auditors that things went a lot smoother. Cause we got a lot of the bumps and stuff already, you know, worked out, so I'm hoping that it's, you know, pretty slick this year, even better than last year.
Right. All right, so if someone can make a motion for us to bring in, a third-party auditor for a 1-day audit prep, and Julie will we'll find that person.
Jim will make the motor.
Okay, motion by Jim, second by Eric, all in favor?
Jason?
Kathy, aye.
Jim.
Okay. Any opposed? All right, motion carried. So Julie, go ahead and contact them again, SKNT or Manure, whatever their name is now, and see if we can get Jim, or if they have someone the equivalent. But we definitely do not want the same person as last time, and you can let them know that. And if they're not willing to give us somebody else or Jim, then we will look at a different third-party vendor to come in and do
I've
that.
already made them aware that I did not want that fella back.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so, D, 2020 fire contract. All of the contracts except for Fulton, which doesn't start till July, are set to renew in June. I don't believe we have any changes at this point. Do you, Jason or Brad, in monetary wise?
No, monetary wise, I don't, Jason.
Okay.
It would be nice in the future if we don't have to do the individual billings to rescue members, or even I guess it don't matter if we do individual billings to the township for calls above and beyond, but yeah, as far as this point, I don't see any problem with what we've got.
Okay. All right.
Are those
So-
contracts then? This is Brad. Are those all annual contracts?
Yes, I believe we are, Brad. They're all annual.
Yes.
Fulton Township used to be a 4-year. I believe that's all annual now too.
Okay. Okay, I'm all set.
So if I can, okay, sorry, you guys cut out on me, I couldn't hear who was talking.
would it,
If we're okay with the same contracts from June to June, if someone wants to make a motion to go ahead and renew all but Fulton Township at this time, so Julie can get that started.
I have a question on those contracts. This is John.
Okay.
It seems that those kind of come around every year, and it takes some time. Couldn't you make those contracts auto renewing, where if there's no changes, nobody has to do nothing, they just automatically renew?
I mean, yeah, we could.
I mean, it just seems a lot of years there's no changes that go into them, and then we play this game of getting these contracts back and forth signed. If they were just auto renewed, unless there was a change, you wouldn't have to mess with them.
I think the last time I went through them, it seems about every 3 years or so, the rates vary somewhat.
Yeah,
From what I
I
could
think
tell.
we will. I think that's about right, Kendra. But with John's question, each township, they've got to budget their monies a certain way. So I think they're trying to make sure nothing's going to change from year to year. And so that's why it ends up being done every year. So they know where they're sitting with their budget.
I see. And so they're the ones reaching out to us at a certain time saying, hey, we want to make sure this is still a good price.
Correct.
So Julie could be more informative on that, but I believe that's the way it is. She gets hold of me quite often asking about this different township or that different township, if there's going to be any changes done. But I believe that's how it is. They're trying to make sure that they've budgeted enough money for their contracts.
Got it.
Yes, that is correct, John and Jason, what Jason said.
Okay, I'm clear on that.
Okay. So can someone make a motion to have the contract sent out with no changes?
This is Jerry Lou, I make a motion, we send out the contract with no changes.
Okay, motion by Jerry Lou, and I didn't hear the last voice.
Jim will second.
Second by Jim, all in favor?
Make sure that's written up without Fulton Township there, Kendra.
Correct, yes.
And
Everyone except phone consent. Okay, all in favor?
Ken, aye. Jerry Lou?
Jim?
Okay, anyone opposed? Okay, motion carried. So Julie, go ahead and you can go ahead and send everyone's Fulton Townships out for that. Okay, got it, thank you. Okay, so that is all I currently have. You'll see at the bottom, business pending next meeting in person. Only because the planning commission master plan, we need to really sit down in front of each other and do some serious conversations about. So that one needs to be an in-person meeting, I think. The annex of Shook's property has gone really nowhere because I haven't met with the attorney with all this going on. It's not considered an emergency. And the same thing with the village policies that we were going to look at and talk about last month. Hopefully we'll be able to meet next month. I'm hoping, praying for an in-person meeting, but be prepared to do another conference call. Worst case scenario. So with that being said, I don't have anything else. Let's kind of go around. Jason, do you have anything else?
The only thing I've got is there's been a lot of dirt bikes, four-wheelers, everything else driving around on the property south of my house that the village.
You know
Yeah, I know who they are, but I'm just curious if that's legal, not legal. Are we covered liability-wise if someone gets hurt? I really don't have a problem with it. I'd rather see them out there than on the streets. But I just want to make sure that, you know, we're protected if they're back there doing that on village property.
There's been a lot of them, that's for sure.
Well, and there's been quite a few even going up and down the main roads. I mean, like, not the main road, like Main Street, but like, you know, the side roads here. I know they would have.
Along the tracks, I can remember when I was a kid, there was like a regular dirt bike track along the railroad tracks, and I don't ever see it. It's not really, must be during the middle of the day, it must be in the evenings, but they've got a regular path and kind of a regular track going again on the railroad tracks there too.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I've got a problem with it. I just don't want there to be a liability issue if there's something wrong with it. You know, I don't know if we can get a hold of our liability company or insurance company and say, you know, we got people doing this, is this all right? And we covered if something happens, or what we got to do to make sure that we're covered. I mean, it's that they're back there doing that. I mean, they're making use of the property, and I don't have a problem with it. But you know, just as long as we're not held liable if something happens.
Right. Let us, we'll send an inquiry to M&L. Our liability.
I'll send an email to Diane at MML Kendra. She's our, my contact. So I will send her an email and ask. She's very, very good about getting back with me, so.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I did notice on Sunday they were coming through town and someone in a silver Ford chased them down. It was down by your house, Bob. Your neighbors there on the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll look into that.
All right, sounds good to me.
Okay. So anything else? Okay, Eric?
No, really don't have anything to add.
Okay. Kathy? No. Everything smells good. Jerry Lou?
One little question. Petitions are due now when? July 21st?
Yep.
And that's right up to the courthouse or still out to the hall?
I believe it's out to the township.
Okay.
Yeah, I think yours is on my desk at the township. Yours is on my desk, Jerry Lou. If you want me to grab it and drop it off.
Oh, I have got one here.
Yeah, I need one too. This is Kathy.